Oops. Oopsie. Bro. Come on. Come on. I lost like $600, right? Yeah, dude, one day. And guess what? Look, one trade. I had foregone my risk management for that day. The one time I feel like we had a good couple of trades, and then the one time I decided to do a regular NQ contract, I get exploded. Not that it's necessarily the market's fault. I mean, it's never the market's fault. So now I'm down to this much drawdown. I think we just got to scale back again, dude. I was confident, but wait till I show you this day, because this day was like, I mean, here's the trade. Uh, this was rough, man. Ignore that. So it looks really good, but I'll show you the context in a sec. Yeah. So like I was not 100%. Okay. I had drank the night before, obviously. So my what do you call it? Inhibitions were reduced. Look how good that looked off the when I entered this trade, I was like, this is the trade that you take a picture of and hang on your wall. I was too cocky going in. I was like, take a picture of this, you hang it on your wall, and you point to it and say, that's what my trade looks like. That's what my setup looks like. And we'll talk about a couple reasons this may not have played out. I think this could have worked. Um, but there's a couple reasons in particular that I don't like this situation. In hindsight, obviously, you're gonna see that it ends up. This was an hour long. Can you see that? I wish I could take a trade that was just like 5 minutes, so I could just like fast forward through it in 1 minute. This is an hour long, so it's just gonna look like insanity. But um, it kept teasing me a little bit. I thought that was gonna let it take off. After it doesn't take off here, I don't know. It starts to consolidate. So like, at what point? Now I'm thinking like, at what point do you give up? Um, when it makes a lower low and comes back up. Like, look at this. It keeps being like, oh, I'm going up. Nah, nah. Like once you see all this action here, I think this action tells you now, like, get out. Like this, I was hoping it was like a fake break to the downside and then up, but no. But the crazy part about this thing is, um, it does go up to my target. I was in it so long I got logged out. See, but it does go up to my target after it takes me out. So that hurt. That one hurt the ego. I won't lie. That one hurt the ego a little bit, baby. Um, but you got to take it in stride. That could have been like decent analysis on my part. I do think like I shouldn't have scaled in that much because it wasn't like a plus 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 plus. Um, we'll also go over the rest of I only took two trades this week. You can have red weeks though, you know? What does our macro look like? Okay. We're like, what are we like 50-50, a little less? Win rate, win rate, win rate. I still don't know how to use this thing. Okay. Best trade, 670. Win rate, ooh, that's not good, dude. Yikes. Average win. My average win is better than my worst trade, though. So I guess that's not bad. Definitely much. So like you see the fact, I guess this is what profit factor is. Um, 304.79 divided by 83, 82. There's all these ratios, sharp ratios. Yeah, I don't know what profit factor is. Gross profits to the gross loss, whatever. The point is, so average win much better than average loss. Worst trade still not great, but not as bad as average win. Win rate horrible, but I think that win to loss dollar ratio is keeping me afloat, and I think that's due to the risk mitigation. Um, yeah, let's look at it though. Got to get over it because just look at this day. If you take away this one, which is where I traded, this I'm gonna take a screenshot right now because this shit, especially in the top, this shit right here, this shit right here, this is like this kind of shows you how important structure is in a decent uptrend. Like you can just take these higher lows and ride them up. Um, it's just so beautiful. I mean, look at this, look at this, look at this. These big bars are really where, oh man. And I took the one that didn't work, but what it is. This journey is going to take as long as it takes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let's just start. Let's just start back here. 9 a.m. consolidating. And then, yeah, so we do get this first zone. Um, and remember this zone because this is going to play into like why I think this is going to play into why this didn't work. Well, it's confusing. We'll get to it. I'm not going to hit myself too hard on the back. What's the opposite of patting yourself on the back? I'm not going to beat myself up too hard because I do think the general structure was good. Um, so you get this first wick, which has a little bit of a wick on top, but otherwise, like this rejection of the zone, the first rejection, really nice, really nice, really great rejection, except for that wick. And then obviously that takes you up to there, but you don't want to take the risk on this one. And I think, is this a 1-to-1? You can take a 1-to-1 on that, actually. Wow. Well, no, not if we do the zone. So it's still 1-to-1 before it takes you out at that zone. So if you buy here for a 1-to-1 with a stop below the zone, you have to sit through this down move, but then you get it taken up over there. When I see this beautiful movement, here's my mistake. Here's the other thing. This red candle, it did create this good ass. Also, this is like a high from earlier, so just an overnight high. So be aware. That's why that line is there. And it does break through that high, but I want to draw this high out because this candle with the red, first of all, second tap of the zone. We like fresh zones. We don't do second taps of the zones. But this second tap took out the high. So I'm thinking it's like we're just gonna keep making higher highs, higher lows. This is a higher low compared to this wick. So the structure's there. It's not beautiful at this point, but you are getting this big impulse. And this impulse made me draw another zone. And like sometimes these layered zones they work, sometimes they don't, a little sketchy. But this was the zone that I played off of. And I think what I should have done, because this breaks the high. I think here's one thing. This candle that I took, I'm gonna put around about. This is the one that I took long. It's not a huge red candle, but it does close lower. I think given the other circumstances. we should look for a more bullish candle. So it's red. It closes. I was like, technically, it didn't close in the zone, but it comes so close to closing in the zone that we could kind of look at that as like closing in the zone. It's like 2 ticks away from the zone. So I don't. In retrospect, that's just not enough. That's just not convincing enough. Um, so too close to the zone. It draws pretty deep into the zone. You kind of want it to cut like this one right here. This is perfect. You want it to come down, just touch it and get the fuck out of there. Same with this one. Comes down, taps it a little bit, gets the fuck out of there. And then also this, I'm less, if this is a good zone right here, I'm less worried about this being the third touch of this zone. But I guess like the fact that it tested this zone, the new one, and tested the old one again. I don't know. I'm trying to think logically of like why there would still be more orders down here after that third touch. I mean, it's gone down to touch it a lot. So like I guess there's just orders down here. But I mean, maybe that's it. That's a hypothesis. I don't know. Um, but it just I guess just touching that zone a third time, I think that's not great. Um, so yeah, so third touch of this zone, really deep draw into the zone I drew, closes close enough to the zone that I would count, we should count that as like being inside the zone. And then by the time you see all this consolidation, like maybe it's just time to get out. Um, and then it comes down. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I put my stop at the freaking? Oh, it's because I was thinking my stop was down here. It was down here, this zone. This down here is where the shit
Order
went.
rejected.
Yeah. So okay. For a second, I was like, wait, was I supposed to win that? And then you get your takeoff of here, but this is the fourth touch of this zone. This actually violates some of the rules we just said. Like this is the fourth touch. That's a lot of touches. Two is a lot. This is the fourth touch of this zone. It draws deep into this zone like this does into this zone. It closes inside before bouncing out. I don't know, dude. This is just one of those. This is just one of those ones, you know. But that's not an entry for us at all. Like this is clearly not a good entry for us. But guess what? That's the one that takes it straight up to that high. So you just gotta walk away with that L. Um, and probably just stay out of this kind of trade. That's just too uncertain, not convincing enough. If this, yeah, yeah, just stay out of that. But then you get these moves up. Um, another zone forms. And I was watching this. I looked away for like this part of the thing and I come back and it's already going up. So with my inhibition down and I already haven't taken a loss, honestly, I don't say this like because I'm like, oh, I knew this one was going to be a winner. I say this because like I would have traded again when I shouldn't have, but it actually might have worked out if I took this trade right here. Um, this candle. So this is like the candle you want to see over here. It's green. It's not close to the zone. It kind of touches it and goes out. You do get a little tap right there, but again, like with my inhibitions failing, I wouldn't have looked at that tap and said, and disqualified that zone. And then it does come back down, touches it, and then goes straight up to that high. Damn. I was looking at this one unfold though, and I was like, nah, that's a big no. That red, no. Because sometimes we do see that little bump up, comes down, and then just keeps going up. But that also is pretty high above the EMA and like at at the high of this entire move. So like taking another long up here, you're buying high basically. So it's a little sketchy. It just needs this little pullback. It keeps going. You get another zone here. It gets tapped, and that's why this isn't good. Besides the huge wick on top, this zone is already tapped. Whoops. This zone is already tapped by that red candle. And this wick on top is really not good. So that's not a good, it's not a good entry. I think if this wasn't the end of the day, maybe it would have enough steam to go up to the high, but um, it was the end of the day, so it didn't. And you know, to uh, one of my recent losses was because of that. I think I covered that. I think I had a live look at that. That was like an hour, another hour and a half trade. It might have been this one. Um, where I traded too close to the end of the day, I got closed out and then it went in my direction. So I'm just making silly, honestly. I'm just being silly. I think I trade so little, like execute actual trades so little that I might be getting a little itchy. I might be getting a little itchy, dude. Like that's why I scale down sometimes. It's just like put one MNQ up because I get itchy. It's not a horrible setup, but I do want to see. I'm willing to put up $50, to see if this kind of thing is going to work out. Make some new grooves in my brain with less risk. Let's look at the day before Thursday, I think. I wasn't really watching. I was so busy on Thursday, so this is all new to me. This is like a shitty, this is a bad zone. You shouldn't even draw this out, but you do kind of get like a pop out of there, but don't even think about it with that red candle right here. No. This one I would draw out. Nice little push up. Ooh, that's a sketchy one too, because that's kind of just looks like the candle that I took. So maybe these red, I know there's like a bunch of stupid names for it. Maybe these red wick candles, you really got to be, they can look bullish just because of that wick, but that red just does not bode well. Um, this is another one that's kind of at the high of this move. You get a big ass move up, come down. Didn't make a higher high, made a lower high down here. And you're still pretty high above the EMA. I don't know. Maybe I would have tested that one. I don't know. Nothing good here. Yeah, just like another day. Another day at the office. Bless you. Then that's it. I've been trading too late in the day, bro. And like this Friday was interesting because there were a lot of, I wouldn't say there were a lot of setups, but there were a lot of opportunities. I'm sure there are people who made a lot of money on Friday just by going long. But it's kind of interesting because, like, look at how much of this stuff happened. This just beautiful structure with it all happening afternoon. Um, yeah, dude. But yeah, the last couple times I tried to trade afternoon, just get doinked. All right, this is Wednesday. Yeah, what happened Wednesday? Huge thing, and then we just spent the whole day recovering that move. Did I talk about this? Doesn't matter. Um, Forming zones on the way up. This is a nice zone. Not so much this one, but I drew it. This is a decent zone, but it just doesn't come back. It just keeps breaking highs without coming back to where you want it to. So yeah, I think this was, yeah, just no good. This is interesting. It's not a it's not a good zone though, and you already had this. You're following kind of this big move. So this shorting this candle, especially with that wick, no good. And this isn't a great zone on the bottom, this demand zone, but this is a decent candle, but it just doesn't touch it. But that's what takes it up there. But we didn't get the touch, so we didn't get the zone touch. Okay, I think this is the last day. Big ass move up in the morning. Nothing. Why did I draw this zone? This is the worst zone I've ever seen. Don't even think about it. Another zone. This is another one where you're kind of at the high of this move, so buying up here would be a little risky. I don't think there's like a set amount. You could test different ATRs, but I just kind of look at it. Does it look like it's teetering on the edge? Does it look like it could fall down up there? Just don't buy high. Don't sell low. Then you get this situation. And that kind of turns into a, it's not really a good signal bar though. It taps 3 times before it gives you like a decent bar. So there's not really a chance to get short there. And if you do get short, you can only take it down to this zone. Won't take it anywhere else. Do I have no? Yeah, it's just not showing. Did I take one? I think I took one on. Yeah. This is where I lost money right here. I took. Yeah. So I think what happened was, because this structure looks decent, right? You have this big move up, makes a high that doesn't break this high, so it's like, makes a higher low, higher high. We break this structure here, comes back down, straight down to this zone. And I knew in the back of my head, dude, that people were going to be unloading positions. But I saw this candle, I got in. This also isn't a great candle with the wick on top, and also 340. Don't trade. Stop trading. So I got stopped out. I think it automatically closes your position like 410. It must have closed in this candle somewhere though, because it was a loss. So it must have been down here that I just got closed out. Then it, of course, goes back up. I think I also got some slippage, so I probably entered like up here, I think. I put a limit order here. Yeah, I didn't enter market. I put a limit buy there. Got slipped on this thingy. Yeah, just, I mean, there's not enough volume at the end of the day to even like get it up there. That would be a freak accident if it got up to that high. Of course, eventually it goes most of the way, but kind of to this volume pocket right here. But yeah, so that's it. What did we learn this week? Don't trade at the end of the day. Watch out for consolidation. Don't trade when you're hungover. Red candles are bad if you want to go long. No matter how much wick there is, that's got to be better. That's got to be a better rejection there. This is a good red candle to go long. This is a bad one. Okay. Beware of layers. Beware of layers here. That kind of thing. You gotta keep going though, man. Like, gotta keep going. A little setback. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Okay, but we're still winning. Okay, bye.